Hi everyone, in this tutorial I will show you how to do the salt extraction method for DNA isolation. We got a couple of ingredients here, starting with the lysis buffer for DNA isolation. The details will be shared in the description of this video. I'm just following a basic protocol. Then we have the Proteinase K, which is 20 milligrams per ml concentration. We have 10% SDS right here. The protocol is asking for 20% SDS, 40 microliters of it. So what we're gonna do is use 10% SDS, 80 microliters instead. And also we're gonna use 6 molars of sodium chloride solution. We have 5 molars, so what we're gonna do is increase the amount a little bit. And also we have some tissue, liver tissue, inside 95% ethanol. I tried this method with muscle tissue. We have some fish here, and as you can see, it worked out just great. So let's move on. Alright, so the first step is to subsample this because there's a lot of tissue here. I have a micro PCR tube with 100 microliters of sterile water in it. What I'm going to do is take a small piece out of this liver and let it rest inside the sterile water for a bit, so the ethanol is going to be washed away by the water. So now that we have our tissue right here, let's put it in. It's inside the water. Now let it sit for like 5 minutes. While that is happening, turn on your hot plate to 65 Celsius. So it's been about 5 minutes since this has been sitting. What I'm going to do is, while that's still waiting, I'm going to take a clean 1.5 ml centrifuge tube. I'm going to add 400 microliters of this lysis buffer, 40 microliters of 20% SDS, or in this case 80 microliters of 10% SDS, and 2 microliters of 20 milligrams per ml Proteinase K into this tube. Let's vortex this. It's good enough. Alright, now it's in. Vortex this. And now shake it a couple of times. Now we are going this at 65 Celsius. This is still getting up to 65 for at least an hour, preferably 2 to 3 hours, or overnight. It's been about 2 hours. Let's turn off the heat. Let's take a look at the tube. As you can see, there's still a little bit of tissue left, but the liquid looks a little bit more brown. Let's vortex this for a couple seconds. Now what we're going to add is 300 microliters of 6 molar salt, sodium chloride. Since we have 5 molar, I'm going to add 360 microliters instead. Once you do that, it'll get cloudy. Now the next will be vortexing this again, and then we're going to take this into our centrifuge. Let's put a counterweight. And we're going to run this for 30 minutes at 10,000 RPM. Let's see, this looks good. Now we can just turn this on, and we'll be back in 30 minutes. 30 minutes is done. Now, as you can see, after the centrifuge, it looks like this. The tissue has precipitated, salt has precipitated, what we're gonna do is remove this supernatant part and put it into a new tube. I will try to get about 700. As you can see, still this left, and a tube, only the supernatant. So there's 750 microliters of supernatant here. We can discard this, and what we're gonna do is take isopropanol alcohol and add the equal amount of isopropanol here. 750 inside, so I'm adding 750 into this. Again, once you add isopropanol alcohol, you might see some coloration difference at the top and at the bottom. This is fine. We are gonna do this motion a couple of times, up and down. Then we're gonna put this into a freezer, minus 20 Celsius. And we'll come back and do some more centrifuging. Alright, so it's been 10 minutes at minus 20 Celsius. It doesn't look any different. Now we're gonna put this into centrifuge. So we will run this at 16,000 RPM for 20 minutes. But my machine only goes up to 13.2 thousand. So what I'm gonna do is, instead of running it 20 minutes at 16,000, I'm going to do 13.2 thousand at 35 minutes. Last step is done. This is our tube. Let's see if we can see the little pellet. Yep, that little thing that is like slightly brownish, that is the pellet that we are looking for. So what am I going to do now is open the cap very slowly. And make sure that pellet is still there. As you can see, maybe, because I can see it, that little brown spot. Usually it's whitish. There might be some, it might be due to the liver's color itself. That little thing is what we're looking for. Now we have to do is either leave the cap on like this and let the isopropanol alcohol evaporate, or the other option is to take this into a speed vac. I put my tube in the speed vac. Now I'm going to turn the vacuum on. Let's turn this valve off. Now it's completely sealed. Let's turn the rotor on and heater on, and check once every 10 minutes until the tube looks completely dry. So it's done. You can see the pellet. That's what we're looking for. It's completely dry inside. Next step will be adding 100 microliters of TE buffer or sterile water. Now, I have TE buffer here. I will add this. Again, TE buffer. But if you don't have TE buffer, you can just use water, basically, sterile water. Once you put that in, make sure the pellet dissolves well by shaking it and vortexing it. And once it dissolves, it's ready. Now I'm gonna do a PCR to confirm that there's actually DNA in this. We got the gel electrophoresis done. Let's see if the DNA extraction was successful. And yes, our DNA extraction was successful. And this is the gel electrophoresis results. We got 3 different primer sets used here. That's why we have different sizes of DNA fragments. Thanks for watching.